Hello PUBG Mobile and BGMI players. Welcome back to another new tips and tricks video. Do you also want burst fire like this? But you're struggling to get it right? Don't worry, I'm here to help you out. Today, I'll share 5 simple but important points with you. If you follow these 5 points, you'll master burst firing with the M416 and a 4x scope in no time. Let's get started. Point 1. Burst techniques. Let's talk about burst techniques. Pro players typically use 2 main burst techniques. The first technique is directly aiming at the head and controlling the recoil to keep your shots on target. This method can deliver instant headshots and eliminate enemies quickly. However, it requires excellent recoil control and precise aim, which can be challenging, especially for beginners. The second technique, which is also the most popular, is aiming at the chest and letting the recoil naturally pull your aim toward the head. This method is easier to master and more forgiving, as the chest area is a larger target. As you fire in bursts, the recoil will help you land follow-up shots on the head, increasing your chances of connecting those critical headshots. Personally, I use the chest aiming technique because it's effective and reliable, especially in fast-paced situations. For beginners, I highly recommend starting with this technique. It's easier to practice and builds your confidence with burst fire. So, give the chest aiming technique a try and see how it works for you. Point 2. Set up your M416. The first step to mastering burst fire is to set up your M416 correctly. A fully equipped M416 will give you the best results in both stability and accuracy. First, add a compensator to the muzzle slot. The compensator is the best choice for controlling recoil during burst fire. It reduces vertical and horizontal recoil, making it easier to keep your aim steady. For the grip, you have 2 main options: the vertical grip or the angled grip. The vertical grip helps reduce vertical recoil, which is especially useful for burst fire. If you prefer faster aim speed, you can go with the angled grip, but keep in mind that it offers slightly less recoil control. So I will recommend a vertical grip, which is best for burst fire in my opinion. Make sure to equip an extended quick draw magazine. This increases your ammo capacity and reduces reload time, which is essential during intense fights. Now, let's talk about the final attachment for the M416, the stock. This is often overlooked, but it's incredibly important for controlling recoil and improving weapon stability. Without the tactical stock, the M416 feels a bit unstable, especially during quick bursts. So, always make sure to equip this attachment whenever possible. But keep in mind that these attachments might not always be the best choice if you're playing in classic mode. If you have access to the in-game market, make sure to redeem a muzzle brake and replace the compensator. The muzzle brake offers better control over both vertical and horizontal recoil, making it a superior option for burst fire in most situations. Point 3. Adjust your sensitivity. Giving exact sensitivity numbers is tricky because every player has their own unique muscle memory. As I always say, don't just copy someone else's sensitivity settings. If someone gives you their sensitivity code and promises that it will make you a pro, don't believe them. They're just fooling you. Instead, focus on creating your own sensitivity settings that suit your play style. You can take inspiration from pro players, but don't simply copy their settings. It's important to customize them to match your comfort and gameplay. If you need help with this, check out this video on my channel where I guide you step by step on how to create your own sensitivity settings for any scope or any weapon. But for 4x burst, I will teach you how to adjust your own sensitivity. The first step to adjusting any sensitivity settings is trying to find the problem in the spray. So I have 3 players right here, and they have different problems. First, we have Mr. Victor. He is a non-gyro player. His problem with burst fire is he cannot connect the headshot. His aim always moves upwards and gets uncontrollable, which causes missing his target. Second, we have Mr. Mummy. He is a gyro player. His problem with burst fire is that as soon as he fires, his aim becomes uncontrollable and he misses most of the headshots. Lastly, we have Mr. Gorilla. His problem with burst fire is his aim moves horizontally. However, he can control his vertical recoil, but he is struggling with horizontal recoil. Let's solve Mr. Victor's problem. He is a non-gyro player and struggling with the uncontrollable aim and his aim moving vertically. Basically, Mr. Victor was playing on low sensitivity, so I decided to increase his ADS 4x scope sensitivity by 3 to 5% and test the burst. It seemed to improve, so I adjusted it further by increasing another 3 to 5%. After a few adjustments, it looks like the problem is solved. Now Mr. Victor can burst fire perfectly because he has a well-optimized burst sensitivity. Don't copy Mr. Victor's sensitivity code because it's customized specifically for him. Instead, create your own settings, just like Victor did, to match your play style and preferences. Let's solve Mr. Mummy's problem. He is a gyroscope player but struggles to hit headshots consistently. It seems like his sensitivity is slightly too high. Since he uses the gyroscope, I'll reduce the ADS gyroscope 4 times sensitivity by 3 to 5% and test it. It feels better now, so I'll decrease it by another 3 to 5% for further adjustment. After making these tweaks, here's the improved burst performance of Mr. Mummy. Let's solve Mr. Gorilla's problem. He is struggling with horizontal recoil. Horizontal recoil is tricky because it moves your aim side to side, and it's not as predictable as vertical recoil. To fix this, the first step is to check your attachments. Make sure you're using a compensator or a muzzle brake, as these are the best options for reducing horizontal recoil. Next, focus on your grip. The angled grip is particularly good for controlling horizontal recoil, so if you're struggling, try switching to it. Lastly, sensitivity settings play a big role. If your horizontal recoil feels too wild, try lowering your ADS sensitivity slightly for the affected scope. This can help you keep your aim steady. With these adjustments, Mr. Gorilla should be able to control his horizontal recoil much better and hit more accurate shots. Alright, now we are done with the sensitivity setting. Let's move on to point 4. Practice. Practice is key to mastering burst fire. No matter how many tips videos you watch, the most important thing is the practice. The more you practice, the more you'll get used to controlling recoil and landing those perfect headshots. I highly recommend heading to the training ground for at least 5 minutes before starting the match. The more you practice, the easier it will be to pull off those perfect burst shots during real matches. Also, if you're still figuring out your sensitivity settings, make sure to check out my previous video where I taught you how to create your own custom sensitivity settings for any scope or weapon. Thanks for watching, and I hope these tips help you improve your gameplay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more PUBG Mobile and BGMI tips. See you in the next video. Happy gaming!